Hello, and welcome to another awesome episode of Delegate This. Today, we're talking event planning. Okay, and I'm not thinking about, the wedding bells chiming or, that kind of event planning. I'm talking about those speakers that need to get on stages and they need to be talking in front of their audience. But the idea of coordinating, finding a venue, doing all that kind of stuff is just crazy overwhelming. Well, I brought a specialist on today, and I would love to introduce you to Toni, and she's going to tell us all about the event planning world. Toni, welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm very excited.
Toni Caruso is somebody that I've known for a while from eWomen Network, and she's a crazy, awesome event planner. So tell us a little bit more about your business and what you do.
Well, what I started with, I came from the corporate world and the entertainment world. So I was doing shareholders meetings, advisory board meetings, company picnics, and then I started to get into movie premieres and some really fun stuff. Then I joined eWomen, amazing entrepreneurs, and realized there was a need to help these speakers, authors, coaches get on a stage and share what they know to their raving fans. So I sort of niched myself into that business event category. And I love to work with great, powerful speakers and people who really want to have an event and an experience for their clients and potential clients to come in a room and just really have a good time and leave loving everything that you said on stage.
And it matters. I've been to events of all kinds, whether it's the coach or speaker that's just starting out and they're kind of doing a little, let's throw it together kind of event, all the way up to, the eWomen events that are just, high dollar, big budget kind of thing. So tell me a little bit for that coach or speaker who's considering doing their very first event. How do you save somebody time or money by delegating the event planning instead of having them do it themselves?
What I find is if you have an event that's you, it's authentic to you, it's who you are and what your message is about, very important. And delegating it to someone who you actually knows has your back and understands your message, so that when the event planner's out there and you've delegated everything to them and you walk in the room, it has a feel that you want. You have to figure out what's your vision and then have someone help you bring that to life.
Yeah, I love that. And, one of the things that kind of keeps coming up for me on this is the list of things to do when it comes to an event. And it doesn't matter whether you have 5 people in the room, 50 people in the room, or 500 people in the room. There is a tremendous list of details. And if you are not the detail person, even if you are the detail person, that's not how you should be spending your time, either leading up to the event or even most especially at the event, going down that list of details. So, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, especially let's take one portion of it, audiovisual. But you need to know your audiovisual needs. You need to know, do I need a stage? What kind of lighting should there be? What kind of sound system? Who's going to run the music when you're coming on and off stage? Who's going to have the music going and getting that energy in the room between breaks? Audiovisual alone can take a lot of time. Then add on to that speakers. You're going to have other speakers speak on your stage? If so, what's your agreement with them? All these things can go wrong. You don't have someone following up with each one of the people that have a part of your event. So all those little items are taken care of. You don't have time for that.
And that's a great point, because one of the things we talk about a lot on this show is how does delegating save us time or money? And sometimes it's not about saving money, it's about the money that you can make by delegating and being able to present yourself that much more professionally. How you do anything is how you do everything. I've learned that over and over in personal development seminars, and this is no different. If you put on an amateur presentation, you cannot command high dollars for your programs. You're going to, if you try and save money and cut costs here and there to be able to put on an event, then the amount of money you're going to make from that event is going to reflect how much money you put into that event.
Well, exactly. And people should think that they're going to have an event and make money. The goal to have an event is to cover your cost. You don't have events to make money. Where you make your money is when you're selling your programs or services. That's the reason, that's where your profit comes in. But you don't want to go in the hole having the event. But there are a lot of great little ways that you can make money and cover those expenses. You know, people paying to be on your stage for one, vendors for another, sponsors, swag bag. And if you're working with someone who's professional and knows all those items that you can go out and get and that you can offer, it's amazing. You'll be making money. And because my whole goal is for the event to be paid for before the doors open. Take all the stress away and have somebody helping you get everything paid for. And what I always tell my clients, yes, you're paying for me, but I'm going to help you make the money to pay for me, because it's my job.
Yeah. You aren't an expense, you're an investment.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that. So tell me, what is one of the things that you see people making mistakes when they, when they're trying to do some of these events? Just share with us one of the biggest mistakes you've seen.
I think the biggest mistake that I see over and over again is people they're having their first event and they didn't hire an event planner. That's okay, you don't have to. They think they can do it all themselves. And then they have their clients or their VIPs or their friends or their family, and they're all working the event. And so they're at the front desk and, oh, my best friend came in, how you been? And they're chit-chatting with people. Well, there's a line, and those are your customers, your potential clients standing there waiting for mom to hug Annie Sue who came, and it just takes away that professional feel. You need someone who has your back.
And odds are, even if they really desire to help you and promote you and give you the best possible outcome, they're not thinking about these details. They don't know about these details because they have never been event planners, most likely. And so there's a lot of things that they don't realize they should be watching out for, even if they really do want to do the best possible job for you that they can. So great point. So what should somebody look for? I mean, we would all love to work with Toni, but I'm sure Toni's not going to travel to all of our events all over the country. So when we're looking to work with an event planner, what should we consider? What do we need to know?
I think that you need to go, do they have a really solid website? Do they have good testimonials? It's finding that right combination of personality to work with you. But know that you don't want a yes person. If you're working with someone, they're like, oh yes, I can do that. Oh yes, we can do that. They can't do that. You want someone who has an opinion that's going to tell you, you know what, that's not going to work for this event. Or, hey, that's going to cost you too much money. If you want to go there, we need to look at that. But let's stick to your budget. And a lot of it is cost. It comes down to, don't go out there and hire the biggest and the best and pay thousands upon thousands of dollars. And put yourself into debt. So it's got to be cost effective.
Yeah, it has to make sense. And, one of the things that I love about what you just said was, I would describe it as that business partner that's going to go along with you and not just the employee that's going to do whatever you tell them to do. By having that strategic partner who's going to be able to say, yes, you should do this, but no, that doesn't make sense for your budget. You're really getting that right combination of somebody who's guiding you, but also has the best interest in mind for your business and the event and the goals that you want to achieve for that, as opposed to that individual that's just like, okay, yep, we got that. Yep, we can do that. Yep, we'll take care of that. Check. So
I also want to say that we've talked about speakers and people paying to be on your stage and such. Please note that if you are, this is one of the things that I see happen all the time, they bring in someone who's big and they're going to spend $8,000 to speak on your stage, and and you've told them there's going to be 125 people in the room. If you don't have 125 people in the room and they've paid $8,000 to be on your stage, it's not going to look good, and you're going to lose them if you then want to do event after event. So be careful what you promise up front, because you have to be able to fulfill it. It's always better to under promise and
under promise, over deliver. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I totally agree with that, because I've definitely booked, whether I was paying or not, as a speaker, having gone to events and coordinated my travel and spend my day and all that kind of stuff. You know, I count on a certain number of people being in the room based on the outcome that I expect to get for that. And that's how I determine whether or not it's worth the investment of not just my money, but my time to do it. And many times I've been sorely disappointed to have somebody say, yeah, we're expecting 100 people and you got 25 to show up. I'm like, oh, I probably wouldn't have come for that. So,
you know, and you have to think about that, because it's a reputation that you're going to have.
Right. Yes. Because
start off, you know,
speakers do the event.
Yeah. Do it the right way in the beginning.
So let me ask you this question. What have you delegated in your business or personal life that has been so wonderful to get off of your plate?
I wish I could have a huge answer for that, because I am a micromanager, and I am, you know, like most entrepreneurs, we can do it faster than tell someone else to do it. I have hired now 2 assistants that, I must say, bringing in people that really know the way that you do business, and they come into these events for me, and it's just a miracle when all of a sudden you'll see that the host will go, you know, we're going to ask some questions, and you have somebody run over and grab a mic and start mic running without having to ask them, and without, you know, you doing it always by yourself, and having people there that you trust, that you can walk out of the room. So I have now brought in, I have 2 amazing women who do all my events with me, and they know the way that I work. And I have one that actually lives in Minneapolis, and she flies out to my events because it's just so much fun for her. And she is such an asset, and she handles all the money, because in the back of the room, you're handling all these forms and people are signing up for other things. To be able to hand that off to someone and not have to be thinking and doing all that math and doing everything, and be able to handle the questions that come back, and I'm doing the questions and she's handling the money. It's awesome. I have also just handed off all my social media to an amazing young millennial, because they know social media better than anyone. And she has just saved my life on a lot of things. It's been amazing.
That's awesome. I love it when we delegate and win. So Toni, for those that are interested, you know, they've definitely got that, you know, high energy event plan in mind. How do we get in touch with you? How do we learn more about your style of planning, and where do you work?
I work everywhere. I will fly anywhere. I love to travel, and now that I'm an empty nester, I can do it all the time. So you can reach me at Caruso Signature Events, CARUSO, signatureevents.com. Toni at CarusoSignatureEvents.com. I'll go anywhere. If there's a good celebration to be had, because with Zoom and with all the different ways to connect with people, I do most of my work with my clients over the computer. So it doesn't mean that you have to be in the same room. I found that what I like to do is partner with people, like you said earlier, and I have 4 clients, all clients doing 2 to 3 events a year. So we really know each other, and we do multiple events. So that's one thing that's really nice, is you go in, you do the first one, you learn a lot about each other, and then they can just hand everything over to you and you can move forward. So it's kind of nice. I do have, if you do email me, I will give you my ebook, workbook free. It's the everything you need to know to put on your own event. So I will send that to you, but you just have to email me and say, give me the book, and I will shoot it off to you.
Perfect. I love it. And we'll make sure that we mention that in the notes below. And for all of you out there that are ready to put on an amazing event, be sure to reach out to Toni. And if you have other things that you want to delegate, social media, website stuff, well, Virtual A Team, we've got you. So make sure that you delegate this.